Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adam Show. My name remains Adam Solofimolajide, and you guys are welcome specially. This is another episode, and it's a weekend where I get to interview another entrepreneur. All right. This is a new month. Happy new month to you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. And for our Muslim brethren that have begun their fast, how is the fast going? I hope you guys are keeping it strong out there. If this is your first time of being a part of the show, we talk about business, we talk about freelancing, we talk about entrepreneurship, and any other thing that could actually make you grow. And from time to time, I get to bring in guests that I interview, and you get to know what happens at the back of their head. All right. And on this episode, I have another lovely guest that I would be interviewing. He's a copywriter, he's into graphics, and he is a lovely gentleman. All right. So I'll be bringing up his bio right now before I bring him up on stage. Okay. But before I do that, how are you guys doing? How is the weekend going? I know that, like, for some of you guys, mates have probably gone for a wedding or two. I hope you guys are eating all the chicken over there. Anyway, let me read his bio. Smart Afuwape was born in Lagos, Nigeria on the 12th of July, 1995. He graduated from the Senior State High School Ibereko, Badagry, Lagos State in 2012. After completing his senior school education, he increased his knowledge through practice. With time, he became a certified computer IT expert employed by ECOWAS. During his time at ECOWAS, he worked with the controller of the Immigration Service of Nigeria, Semi-Border Patrol, Mr. Abiodun, and some other notable names. In 2016, he kickstarted his career as a copywriter on Upwork and Fiverr at his spare time. And for 6 years, he developed his skill set as a certified copywriter with over 2,400 jobs under his belt. In March 2020, as the pandemic began in full swing, his work as an IT expert with ECOWAS came to a halt. This setback bore good fruit as it allowed him to focus on his freelancing career. He branched into the graphic design space and, in turn, built a studio called Draftway Studio, in which he is the current CEO and lead art director. Draftway Studio is a brand identity, web development, UI UX, single membership limited liability company registered in the United States of America. Smart is proud to say he has enjoyed success as a freelance entrepreneur, with several accolades received as he works with companies and individuals to pursue employability. He now aims to help youths join the rank for full-time freelancers with a view of achieving success along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Smart Afuwape. Hello, Mr. Smart. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for pronouncing my surname well.
Definitely. I think at some point we had difficulty having to pronounce your name. You had to tell me how to pronounce it. Then since I'm good with the Yoruba intonation, I had to put the mark. I had to put the mark on your name so that I would not guess it wrong, like the Redodomi Afuwape. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's dive right into what we have for today. My very first question, as I always ask every entrepreneur or every individual that I get to bring on the show, is this. I know I have read your bio, but in your own words, can you tell us who Mr. Smart Afuwape is?
My name is Afuwape Smart, and I am first and foremost an IT expert. I am also a graphic designer and a copywriter. I work on Fiverr and Upwork, and I work for some major brand influencers and company offline also. Yeah, that summarizes it.
All right, cool. All right, so what inspired you to do what you're currently doing? I know that you own a studio that is registered in the United States of America. What was your inspiration to go that path?
I think I'll say it's my mom, because when we were done with school back then, she was always complaining about we getting something to do. It was more like a national anthem at home. But that's not Shiko. Oh, you can't stay at home, you can't do something like that. So when I got my job with the ECOWAS, I was lucky to have that job because when they bring down systems from Abuja, they just dump them down in the storeroom. So the
Okay.
ECOWAS needed something close, someone close to the vicinity who can help them fix up the desktop, fix up the laptops, and so they gave me a contract, and I was working for them for quite some while. But I am not a salary kind of guy. I want to I want to be able to control my time and how I make my
Okay.
money. And I had the opportunity to do that when the pandemic came in. I've always been a copywriter. I've been writing ad copies for my my friends. I've been writing ad copies for my bosses at work. So when the pandemic broke out in 2020, I took it as an opportunity to dive all hands and leg into the business of freelancing. So that's what brought me down to Fiverr and Upwork, and it has been a bliss since then. So I that is the whole story in general. It has been nice.
Great. 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 All right. So, as a copywriter, as a graphics designer, what are the top software or apps you use in running your business? You can name as many as you can.
Okay. Well, every but during I think 2021, 2020, a lot of us have been using Google Doc. We have been using Google Doc to write content, and we use Grammarly also. We use Grammarly to proofread, to check grammatical errors when we write some documents. We also use Plagiarize X to check if some of the words we use or some of the sources we use, we can post it without getting a copyright strike. And
Yeah.
when we come to graphic designing, Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is number one. Well, I was using
Hmm.
CorelDRAW back then, but Adobe Illustrator. Then for photo manipulations, we use Photoshop to work on images also. And we have softwares like um, CorelDRAW, we have software like InDesign, we have software like PowerPoint. So we have it's just some are offline, some are online. So, but the major software we use, I can bring it down to Microsoft Word, Google Docs, Adobe Illustrator, and Photoshop.
Okay. All
That's
right. Great. 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 Now I'm going to ask you a question that like you are not expecting for it to come your way right now. You own a company. I am sure you work with a team. How many people are in your team, and how do you get to manage them?
Oh, I registered my company this year with a friend of mine. It's a single limited liability company, but since I have I'm a Nigerian citizen, it's very difficult for me to register my business over there. So we had to come into a consensus, and we agreed on the term of the business. And when it came to
Okay.
when you talk about team, we are in general we are 12 on the team. We have
Wow.
four graphic designers, three copywriters, and my sis, I, and the man William that helped us register the business. So
Okay.
that's
That's
the
great. That's
number.
great. So
Yeah.
how do you get to manage them? Because I know that like a lot of them are not where you are, right, at your location. How do you guys get to like meet? How do you guys get to like communicate such that you guys do not fall behind schedule?
I, I think the first thing I try as much as possible to do is to make them family. Because if you
Okay.
make the workspace conducive, they become productive. So apart
Sure.
from sending them WhatsApp messages, sometimes I call them on video call. Sometimes I check up
Okay.
because when you call someone working with you, they just automatically expect you to talk about business, talk about the job on hand, to talk about the
True.
contract. Sometimes I call them and I talk about their personal life. How are they doing? How are they catching up with Corona and stuff? I just try as much as
True.
possible to make the whole business space more like a family space. You make them comfortable. So WhatsApp has been helpful. I also use Zoom a
Okay.
lot. There are sometimes when I'm trying to pass on my instructions to them and they are finding it difficult to maybe they don't understand me. And with Zoom, I can connect directly to their PCs and I show
Yes.
them from my own end what I want them to do. So WhatsApp and Zoom has been so much helpful when we are trying to connect the team together.
Great, great, great. I love the fact that like you said that you try to like create this family environment in your business, and I am sure that like you will not be part of those people that they hashtag horrible bosses on Twitter recently in Nigeria. I'm sure that like you are aware of that scenario that like a lot of people were complaining about their bosses and how they try to like lord their mindsets on their underlings. All right, so on to the next question. What would you say your most recommended book is as an entrepreneur?
Oh, that would be hands down the 10 rules of work. The 10 rules of work speaks about someone starting a business with a lot of things against him. People just won't give him the chance to grow. In that kind of space, you have to under
Hello?
promise and over deliver. You have to constantly show up. If you are consistent and you are productive, just like if they hire me to be a computer tech guy and they
Mm-hmm.
want me to fix their laptops, I know I can write content also. I find an opportunity in the company to expand my reach so they don't niche me down to the IT guy. So that's why I love that book so much. That book speaks about how you can expand your reach, the way you carry yourself as a boss, the way you talk to you. That's why I also learned that if you want someone to be productive, you have to make them more like a family. So, Eight Rules of Work. That is a book I would recommend.
Okay, who's the author of the book?
That I can't remember.
Okay,
I'm not good with names, but I will check that and I'll
all
tell
right,
you the
all
name.
right, all right, no problem. Maybe I'll get that from you later on, and then we'll put it in the description of this video for people to
Okay.
have access to. All right, great.
Yes.
My next question is: where do you see yourself, and where do you see your company in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years. And to be honest, I'm more of a realistic guy because I don't know what I don't know what the country will bring my way. I don't know if those I'm working with won't get big because I try as much as possible not to tie someone down. I try as much as possible not to tie someone down because they are not working for me today does not mean they are not going to be useful tomorrow in
True,
one way or the
true.
other. So I can't say that this is where I'll be in the next 5, in the next 10 years. One thing I can say for sure is I'll be in a better place than this.
Great.
Definitely, because with continuity, consistency, if things does not go bad or our people in Nigeria will say bad luck. If bad luck does not find you, or bad luck does not find me and my business, definitely will be somewhere far more bigger than this in the next five
Sure.
years.
I would want to believe that like bad luck would not get to you, and God would always protect you.
Amen.
All right. Okay. So this is the opportunity for you to shine the light on somebody else, somebody that you know is doing exceptionally well in their field, right? Who is an up and coming in your network that you think we should keep an eye on? Someone you know you've worked with that you know that like is doing exceptionally well, and probably in the next few years they are going to blow. Who is that person?
There are actually two that
Yeah, you
I'm
can. Yeah, you can actually mention them.
okay. The first one will be Mr. Victor Oga. He is an exceptional graphic designer. Like, man, if he gives you something, you just shut up. Don't modify. Don't complain.
Nice,
For someone
nice.
that good with brand guidelines, with creation of logos and mascots, minimalist, any kind of logo, I don't see him not blowing up anytime soon. He's more of a private guy, so he works behind the scene. He works for brands behind the scene. I know majority when logo designers create logos for companies, they don't put their name. They sign over the copyright. They sign
Yes,
non-disclosure form. So you might not see him on your screen, but definitely he is going to blow up on the space. That is
great.
Mr. Victor Orga. And the next
All right.
person is doing Solar Fabo. But she's going to kill me for this. She's an amazing,
The same doing solar that we know.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
She's an amazing content creator with
Cool.
crazy amount of consistency. You might be good in your certain niche, but if you are not consistent with what you're doing, if you don't show up, you may not hit that mark you set for yourself. And someone with a little
Sure.
less talent, but very consistent, will do much more things, much more greater things in this world than you with the whole talent in the world. And that is one thing I like about doing so that she's
That's true.
very, very consistent in anything she does. She turns up, she shows up, and so watch out for that lady. She's really good also.
All right. I would take your word for it, and I would definitely watch out for her. And maybe since we both know her, I might probably bring her on the show to get to interview her as well. All right. So my final question is, where can people find you? Your LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the handles that you have. Please let us have it.
No, that is the problem. Because of the nature of my job, I'm always offline. But my one way you can find me is you can find me on WhatsApp. That's where
Okay.
I am. I'm not going to tell you. I have a Facebook account, I have a Twitter account, I have an Instagram account, I have a LinkedIn profile, but I'm never there. If you want to find me, you can come on Fiverr, you can come on Upwork, you can come on WhatsApp. I'm there. Well,
Okay, maybe what you would do is that like you would send in your Fiverr and your Upwork link, right? If anybody would like to work with you, and from there they'll be able to like get in touch with you.
I would like that. I would like that.
All right, great. Mr. Smart Afuwape, thank you very much for gracing this show. Right, it's a pleasure having to have you around, and I have been able to learn one or two things from you. And I have a new book I'll be looking out for to read. The one that you made mention of. I'll try to like Google it and also give my audience and everyone out there access to the book for them to like read it if they're actually interested in it. All right. So on this note, we have come to the end of today's show. I am sure for you guys that are out there, you all have been able to learn some. You have gained one or two things from Mr. Smart. He made mention of the fact that like during the pandemic, he had to go in full time into his freelancing, and he has grown. He has gone beyond just becoming a freelancer to owning an agency. It goes to show that like you do not stop where you are. If you are too comfortable where you are and you do not seek to grow, then it is not really cool. As an entrepreneur, you should always think of the next step and how to grow to the next level. If you're watching us right now, please do like, share, subscribe to this channel, and I am sure that like you would get to learn new things every time we post a new video. From myself to Mr. Smart Afuwape, we say have a lovely weekend, guys, and be the best God has created you guys to be. Enjoy your day, guys. Bye-bye.